Hi, are you planning to buy a new built home in the Denver area in the near future? If this is you, stay tuned. I'm going to talk about ways that you can save money on your new built home purchase. My name's Courtney Murphy, Denver Metro Realtor, and one of my specialties is working with home buyers on the purchase of a new built home. Today we're going to go over incentives, including lender incentives, realtor incentives, and builder incentives. We're also going to cover the best time of year to buy a home and also the best time within a community life cycle. We're going to cover inventory homes, and also if you have a home to sell, avoid this #1 big mistake that could cost you thousands of dollars. So stay tuned, you don't want to miss it. Let's go. Lender incentives. So most big builders, if not all builders, have a preferred lender. And if you use their preferred lender, the lender will give you an incentive to use them. This can vary, and typically what I see is anywhere from like $5,000 to $15,000 towards closing costs or design center or a combination of the both. That's typically what I see. So is it worth it for you? Well, first of all, it really can be. It's worth checking out. It's definitely worth applying with that lender to see what rate they can give you, what the closing costs are, and actually some builders will require you to get pre-approved with their lender. Not all, but some will. But here's the big but. Be sure to shop around still. Still get a quote with at least 1 or 2 other mortgage brokers so that you can see the comparison to make sure that this $10,000 incentive that you're getting doesn't mean you have a little bit higher rate or some really high closing costs, something to cover that. So you definitely want to have a comparison to know that you are getting your money's worth out of that lender incentive by going with their lender. Next is realtor incentives. So what's this? So like I told you, I work with lots of home buyers on the purchase of new built homes, and I give my home buyers an incentive to work with me. So I take part of my commission that is paid to me by the home builder, and I put it towards your closing costs to help bring those costs of moving in that new home just a little bit lower. Now you might think, well, the builder has to pay you. If I go in without a realtor, won't they just, give me some deals? Big builders will absolutely not do that. A couple reasons why. First of all, that could look a little bit unethical to incentivize you or pay you not to have representation on the purchase of your home. Number 2, they want to keep a good reputation in the realtor community. So it will not cost you anything to work with me and have you buy your side during the home building process, and I'll take some of those commissions and throw those at your closing costs. Builder incentives. So builder incentives are different from lender incentives because with those lender incentives, you have to use that specific lender to get the incentive. With the builder incentives, you can use your own lender. You're still going to get this incentive. And builders don't run incentives all the time. You have to be on the lookout for them. But they can be really great and something to watch for and take advantage of if you can. Sometimes I see things like a free washer and dryer. That's a nice perk, not huge though, but I've also seen things, oftentimes Richmond American Homes, for example, will do a finished basement thrown in. That's quite an incentive. That could be an upgrade or an option that could cost you anywhere from like $25,000 to $50,000, and that's thrown in. That's quite an amazing incentive. But how do you get these incentives? Well, that actually brings us into our next point, which is time of year. Builder incentives aren't always going to be dependent on the time of year, but often in case that's true. They're going to give these incentives when they need to kind of get sales up a little bit. So really they can happen at any time during the year when they're not reaching maybe the goals that they had set up. But common time that I see them is near the end of the year. We're talking between Thanksgiving and New Year's. Who wants to be home shopping then, right? Everybody's thinking about the holidays, hanging out with family. Well, the home centers are pretty dead at that time, so they really want to encourage people to get some homes under contract during that time. So really at the end of the year, it's worth taking a look at. Another thing, this is another good reason to work with a realtor, and a realtor who works in, specializes in new built home sales, because, for example, I'm always getting emails from the builders. They're letting me know what kinds of promotions they have going on, what homes they have available, those sorts of things. I'm getting phone calls as well. Hey Courtney, we have this house available, or did you know we have a special this month? That could really help you out in staying on top of and finding out about some of these great builder incentives. So my next point is about the time you purchase within the community life cycle. So it's not only time of year when you can get some great deals, but also where is this community at in their life cycle? You can really get some good deals right at the very beginning of a community. You know, when the model homes aren't even there yet, and you've seen the modular trailers where they're doing their sales out of there. You know, home builders and communities really, they need momentum in their sales. At the beginning of a community, people can't really see what it's going to look like. Maybe the pool and clubhouse and parks and those things aren't in place yet. You don't get that great feel that you get when you walk through a model home and you can see yourself there. And so really at the beginning, first of all, in this market like we're in right now, the very beginning of a community is probably going to be the lowest base prices that are ever going to be seen in that community. But also, they're going to be giving out some incentives and whatnot typically to get people in, buying some homes, get that building underway. So that is a great time for you to look. You see one of those trailers pop up, go in, check it out. Beginning is not the only time. So like I said, momentum. Sales start out slow, they build, and then near the end they only have a few houses left, right? Well, do you think they want to pay those salespeople to be there 7 days a week for these few houses that they have left? Heck no, they want to get them sold. So you can really also find some great deals near the end of a community life cycle as well. Inventory homes. So first of all, what's an inventory home? An inventory home is a home that the builder started building that they didn't have a buyer in mind for. Or, you know, there can be homes that maybe buyers did start out building, but they backed out of the process. Either way, it's a home, no buyer's name on it, it's for sale. So can you find a good deal here? Yes, you can. First of all, in this market, the home builders are not giving you breaks on base prices when you go in and build from dirt. Inventory homes is a place that you can negotiate. So that final price that they have listed there, you can come in and offer lower on those and have a really great chance of saving some money there. Also on some of these inventory homes. So one of the disadvantages is that you may not get to pick out your finishes, which is one of the fun things about buying a new home, right? Picking out all those customizations. But anyhow, sometimes you may be able to if they're really early on in the building process, but if it's farther along, you may not get those choices. However, what I found is that in these inventory homes, you end up getting, if you were to build the same house from dirt, you would have ended up paying more money than you would for the exact same home with the exact same upgrades in an inventory home because of that ability to kind of negotiate a little bit lower. So definitely worth taking a look at inventory homes. And I have to say that it seems like most communities do have a number of inventory homes. Not all, but most of them do. So they're all out there and worth taking a look at. Do you have a house to sell? Well, if so, you need to give me a call before you even start your home shopping for that brand new home that you're buying. Here's why. Too often I see people get excited, they go out, they start visiting new home centers, they put a new home under contract, it's being built, and then I get the call. Hey Courtney, I need to sell my house. Unfortunately, what these home buyers didn't realize that they just cost themselves quite a bit of money. See, by bringing me in and having me work with you on the purchase of your new built home, I make some money here, so I'm able to drop the price dramatically of the listing of your current home. So really there's a lot of savings there. So you don't want to miss out on that. You want to bring me in right away before you start your new built home shopping process. Again, my name's Courtney Murphy, Denver Metro Realtor, and one of my specialties is helping people with the purchase of new built homes. So if this is you, definitely give me a call. I would love to help you find the right home for you and your family, save you some money in the process, and just be there with you through the entire thing. You know, sometimes problems arise, and it's nice to have someone who's used to working in this environment counseling you on what to do and talking to the builder for you, and also help with that transition, whether you're moving from out of state or you have a house to sell, having someone there with you to make that transition as smooth as possible. I hope you learned some great money saving tips today, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're not familiar with it, I upload new model home tours around the Denver area every single week. So talk about shopping from home. Couldn't be any easier than that, right? Thanks for joining me today, and I hope you have a wonderful day.